Alright guys, so in this video we are going to be introducing the vocabulary for the book that we are reading this week, which is called Volcano Wakes Up. Remember that we are focusing on poetry this week, so I want you to keep in mind these elements when you are looking at the YouTube video of me actually reading the book. So the vocabulary are words that you want to keep in mind, just like last time. If possible, I would like for you to also write these down and keep a running tally of how many times you hear these vocabulary words in the reading. So that means every time you hear one, just make like a star or a tick mark by it so you can see how many times the word appears. If you forget what the word means, you can always look back to this video or look back on your own little chart that you've made. Okay. So we're going to start with the first word. The first word is something that you guys should probably know because we've talked about volcanoes in our class before, and it is the word lava. So, lava is just something like hot melted rocks, all right? And they come out of the volcano. So when a volcano erupts and the stuff comes out of it, that's lava. So I'm going to draw a picture of a volcano. Here's a volcano. And all this stuff coming out of the top here, that is the lava. Okay? So this is lava, the stuff coming out of the volcano. All right. The next word is construction. Construction. Okay? So this is something you probably have seen before, like when you're driving with your parents and on the road they have things closed off and people are working. That's called construction, all right? Or when you see a new building, people are working to build that up or add something to a building. That's called construction. They're making something. They're building something. All right, so I'm going to put, let's see, how about we do a building and it's only half complete, all right? And then we'll have like a little crane going on attached to some vehicle they're working, all right? So that's construction, okay? They're building. They're working on building something, okay? So next up, cinders. This is a hard word. All right. Cinders. Some of you guys probably already know what this is, but most of you probably don't. Cinders are pieces of rock or wood that have been partly burned. So if you've ever seen or if you've ever had a campfire and you've thrown wood into the fire before, what's left over when the fire's finally died, but pieces of it are still kind of red in the wood, those are called cinders, all right? So I'm going to put here maybe like a little campfire, nothing too fancy. I'm going to do like the leftover wood after the campfire has finished. So these are the cinders. It's like the burnt pieces of wood after the fire is out. So you see, it's not still burning. It's already burnt. So those are the cinders, okay? They're partly burned. All right. So next up is crater. Crater. So this, in the book, well, how we're referring to it, it is like the hole at the top of the volcano. But crater can also mean just like a big hole in general. Like on the moon, there are giant craters that are so big you can see them from here on Earth. Like if you look up on a full moon, you can see some of those big holes on the moon, and those are called craters. So I'm going to do it in the context of what we're reading because that's how we want to remember it. So if you look at a volcano from the top, like let's say you're flying over it in a giant helicopter and you look down, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a big circle, and then, of course, all surrounding it, all right? And right here, in the middle, this is the crater, okay? So right here is where all the lava would come out of. So this is your crater. So I'm going to label it crater. And just like I said, if you are looking up at the moon, you can also see craters on the moon. So I'm going to draw that as another example. So this is the moon. And then here are some of the craters that you can see on the moon, those giant holes. Okay? So those are craters. And then the last vocabulary word that you'll need to know for this story is detour. Detour. So a lot of you guys have probably been on a detour before, whether you know it or not. A detour is like a route you take, usually when you're driving, that is different from the one that you're supposed to take. So you're just going a different way than usual. So think back to when we were talking about construction. You know how sometimes they have to close off roads to do construction? So you have to take a different road. That's called a detour. So you're just going a different way than usual. So I'm going to draw, let's see. So this is a road that is blocked off. So we're going to go this different road right over here. And I'm going to draw a car kind of coming this way. And instead of going straight, it's going to turn for the detour. Okay? So usually the car would go straight, but since it's blocked off here, it has to take a detour going down this road. Okay? So it's just taking a different path. All right? So these are the vocabulary words that I want you to keep in mind while we are reading our poetry book for this week, okay? I'll keep them up behind me while I'm reading, but also I hope that you've written them down, maybe done drawings, maybe even written a definition of your own, okay? All right, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.